2896. 305 600 2896. I tried to pick the easiest number I could get. I don't think there's anything you can get easier than that unless it's like 1, 2, 3. So, anybody else got some good news? Any stocks? Anything in particular like that? CETX is still the shit, man. CETX is still where the big money is going to be coming in. I'm telling you guys, this time next month, as we approach earnings for CETX, that's going to be the stock you want to play. That's going to be the stock you're going to want to play. All right. I typically have this window up, but I had it closed. Let's see here. It's too early to check pre-market activities, but tomorrow, what's up for earnings? Rand Logistics, RLOG. It's a $22 million market cap company, and then you have Turning Point Brands, $123.5 million company. But I'm watching the news to see an international broker, Interactive Brokers. Congrats to you, man. Goxel Yi or Goxel Yi, BSPM, BSPM. BSPM. What did that do? BioStar Pharmaceuticals. Up $1 today. Why? Company headlines. What came out? I don't see any news. What drove it up? Yeah, Tobias, man. International. When they're talking about international broker, the best is Interactive Brokers, man. From what I hear, anywhere in the world you can trade with Interactive Brokers. I think the only country that doesn't fuck or does Interactive Broker doesn't fuck with is Nigeria. Okay, earnings came out this evening. AKAO. Yeah, I had read about that. I had read about that one. AKAO. No problem, Tobias. No problem, man. You know we're all here to become rich, man. That's all it is. And that's the thing is, as long as we stay dedicated to the craft of learning how to trade, getting better, because everybody as a trader, you know, those of us who are here right now, as long as we continue to focus on what we're doing, you're going to become successful, man, because that's just how it works, man. Is there a list where I can find all penny stocks, whether OTC or NASDAQ? The closest thing you're going to come to that is going to be Finviz, FINVIZ.com. And they have a really great scanner that is going to be able to put practically everything under a certain price on their screen. And you're able to choose what trading venue you want to show up. So whether it be NASDAQ or OTCBB, FINVIZ. You can also go to OTC Markets and you can literally download every stock trading on OTC Markets. Obviously, it's going to be in an Excel format, and it's good for practically one day. So it's a great way to kind of come up with a set of stocks that you want to follow for, you know, let's say a week or two, you know. But obviously it's not live. You know, the list doesn't update in terms of prices, but it's really good to kind of come up with some new things that you think might going to happen based on your list. I haven't seen anything recently on the OTC markets. I haven't seen anything real deep. I haven't seen anything real significant on OTC markets. The last thing that was significant on OTC markets for me was that phony ass Taser company. You know, the guy who was operating out of his house. You know, Force Protection Video. That was it. Force Protection Video. And I dogged, yeah, their ticker was FPVD. And it was trading at like $1.40 or something like that. And it's crashed since then. I knew it was going to crash because it was a worthless company. The guy was operating outside of his house. It was a $40 million company. I think it was like actually $70 million company. And he was operating it out of his house. He had like $11,000 in sales. It's horrible. Yeah, Force Protection Video. I put like $25,000 against that company. Yeah, I made a video showing on one of the corporate documents, he put the address to his house. I Googled the address on one of his 10Ks and went straight to his house. That's another great way to look and catch a fraud is when you go to OTC markets. Go and look on the documents, right? And the addresses they put on the documents, put it on Google and see what comes up. Sometimes, man, those places are like mailboxes, you know, like a Mailbox Express, you know, a UPS store. A lot of times you'd be surprised it's a UPS store because UPS store, they don't actually give you like a P.O. box. They give you an actual address. It's the physical address of the building. That's another great way. These guys are, they don't even try sometimes to make you think it's a scam. They don't even, they don't go that hard to protect it. So I'm still waiting for that OTC stock that I think has NASDAQ potential. I need another Chipotle. Chipotle traded on the OTC at one point. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. There's been a ton of great companies that have started in the OTC. That's why they never, everybody dogs it out, but it's never going to go away because it has had some winners. Microsoft started over the counter. But you really gotta dig, man, when you're talking about OTC market stocks. Did anybody profit today? If you're an investor in CETX, you did. If you've been following my recommendation on CETX, you profited. So that definitely helped counteract my loss on apps. I actually thought about that, man. Just doing a reverse merger and going public and like being a CEO. I was once working with the executive vice president of a porn site called Bang Bros. You guys remember that? Remember that. They're still active, Bang Bros. These guys are making like $7 to $10 million a year making porn. They have over 40 different websites. They've been doing it now damn nearly 15 years. And they were talking about going public on the OTC or the NASDAQ. The idea was that if they go public on NASDAQ, they'd actually go and hire like a really, legitimate investment banking firm and, try to go that route. Or they were simply going to do a reverse merger, buy out, some obscure penny stock and trade on the OTC markets. And I was contacted them, and then we were talking back and forth about it, but they just had a lot of anxiety about the idea of other people being able to have ownership in the company, and the fact that, reporting and, having to let people in on the inside, they really weren't feeling that. Because they really kind of do like to be private about who they are and who owns what of the company. So they decided to stay private. But they know if they want to get to the next level, if they really want to become like a Vivid, a Playboy, they've got to go public. Yeah, TWER, man. That was an afternoon spike too. TWER, that was an afternoon spike. That didn't pop off until like 2 o'clock. That's why sometimes, man, you really can't give up on these little stocks that are, under the $1 bidding requirement for NASDAQ, you know, and they're kind of like at the bottom. Nothing's going on with them. They're trading for 20 cents, 13 cents, whatever it is. And you're like, oh man, this stock is about to get delisted. Sure, it happens. But a lot of times these stocks, they get some kind of news and they just explode. And that's what happened with TWER today. It exploded, man. But it's so hard to catch stocks like that because, for the most part, for the most part, it was doing nothing for the past 5 days. For the past month, if you were in it, you were losing money. Right? Yeah, look at the 1 month chart. You were practically losing money if you were in it for a month. So I've always wondered, how do you take advantage of spikes like that, intraday spikes like that? Where they just kind of pop up and you have no advanced knowledge. You've got to be willing to risk losing some money to make some money. Because if you were in a stock even 3 days ahead of what happened today, you were losing money for the past 3 days straight. Yeah, there were some financials that came out. But what was crazy is that the financials weren't even that spectacular. I mean, they didn't say that they had returned to profitability or anything like that. Again, man, that's just penny stocks, man. People get excited. Again, it's the psychology of the market. And plus, it was at the time of the day that people were looking for something, man. People were looking for something. When you have guys like Mad and Tim Sykes and all of them just talking about, man, where are the plays today, then you know it was dry. Start an investment group. See, that's the thing, man. I've thought about, my thing is I like this idea of everybody controlling their own pot because now you can't blame anybody for anything. See, when you start an investment group, whoever's leading the group, if shit don't go right 1 day or 2 days, it's off with that person's head. But sitting here as individual traders talking about different ideas, bouncing off individual ideas off each other, we're all responsible for our own well-being. And there's no one to blame but ourselves. Yeah, the market as a whole is acting kind of screwy. It's just being a little slow, man. It's just, and again, it's the summer, but, there's still opportunities out here. No excuses. There's still opportunities out here. And what's the thing about the Tower chart, TWER chart? That stock, when I talk about, I made this video when I talked about investing. Gosh, what was the name of that video I made again? God, what's the name of the strategy? I forgot what it's called. I don't implement it a lot, but camp investing. There we go. Camp investing. When you put your money in a stock because it has a tendency to explode, that would have been a good one to do, because if you actually look at the chart, if you look at the 3-month chart, it popped off in May. It popped off in May. TWER. So it has that tendency to do this. But I didn't even see that in May. No, I didn't get in on LBIX. No. Luis, did you? Yeah, Clay, man. Camp investing does actually work, because if you actually look at Tower on the 3-month chart, it's popped off before. So that's a stock that when it comes back down, you can lay some money in there, and 9 times out of 10 it'll happen again, because those stocks just go, they just do that. When they're tight floaters like that, like Tower is, there's not much of Tower out there, so that's why it floats like that. It just kind of boom, 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 boom. You know, and it's been exactly a month since it did it the first time. But here's the thing: you can't guarantee yourself that it's going to happen again in a month. MGT and SPHS. I like SPHS, man. I like SPHS. You lost money in TWER? Were you chasing the run? Or are you talking about you were in it before today? What's MGT again? MGT, what are they, like a financial firm? MGT Capital Investments. Okay, so they were dead for a while, and they just came alive out of nowhere. MGT reminds me of a stock that I promoted, another financial firm, a while ago. I can't remember. I think they started with a C something. It's back in my videos. But they hit me up and they say, hey man, we love what you're doing on YouTube. We'd really love to get some traction on our stock. And they PayPal me 10 grand, and I made like 3 videos for them, and the stock went up like 200%. I can't remember what the stock was. I think it's some way back then. I can't remember what. Yeah, I can't remember what the stock was. Let me see. Yeah, CFGX. I don't even know. Are they even still in business? CFGX. They're another financial firm. Capital Financial Global. Yeah, damn, they're 000 now. Capital Financial Global. Yeah, I pumped that stock for them. Yeah, right. Their float is ridiculous now. They didn't have that much float when I started, but when I was messing with them, and they haven't updated their reports since December 31st. I should give him a call to see what was going on. But basically what his business was is that he lent money to other penny stock companies, other small cap, over the counter companies. That's what I was telling you guys yesterday. That's the business to be in if you got some money, is lending to other OTC companies. And in exchange, you get tons of stock that's liquid and you can sell. Yeah, MGT looks good, man. MGT looks good. Looks like it's primed to do something. Ran by or fluffed by John McAfee. Why does that name sound familiar, John McAfee? Why is that name? Uh-oh. Okay, yeah, now there's some articles about it, huh? Look at this article on it, though. Oh, John McAfee. No wonder. Yeah, he was on McAfee Antivirus, right? Yeah, he started McAfee Antivirus.
Andrea Sicon, medical doctor from
Oh,
Cleveland.
sorry. Yeah. He started the the annoying McAfee Antivirus. Man, that software was so annoying back in the day. That company was so annoying because, it came with like practically every software out there. Yeah, that article talks about how he pushed the stock up like 700%. Let me give you guys the link to that Foos DVD too. I think I got it on Pirate Bay. I hope you guys have pretty much downloaded everything on Pirate Bay you can, because they're really trying to get rid of that site, man. So Tim Sykes, I love you, but I gotta download all your shit. I already did it already. I mean, practically everything he's put out, I've already downloaded. Foos. Yeah, where did I get the Foos? Did I get it at Kick-Ass Torrents, or I got it at Foos 4? Okay, yeah, here's the link. Yeah, I got it at Kick-Ass Torrents. Here's the link if you know how to use torrents to that DVD I just showed you guys earlier. Cameron Foos's DVD. That's the second one. The first one is on Kick-Ass Torrents too. You just look that up. Yeah, man, Jamal, all his DVDs on Pirate Bay, man. But you gotta search Timothy Sykes, not Tim Sykes. You gotta go on Pirate Bay and you gotta put in Timothy Sykes. Yeah, man, it's on there. If you ain't got the $500, man, just get the information. That's what I told him that years ago. I was like, man, I don't got the money to buy your DVDs. I don't have the money to buy your DVDs, but if I get good at this trading, you're going to get the money from me. I'm going to fuck with you somehow and pay you back that way. And how I paid him back is that I've sent some people his way. I made a video in 2012. It's floating out there. Talking about, man, Tim Sykes, you the man. I like what you've done for me. Taught me how to trade. Woo, woo, woo. That video's got like 20,000 views, man. There's some people who saw that video and went and go buy his shit. So, as far as I'm concerned, he got his money back from me. Yeah, man, he ran off to Costa Rica somewhere. The guy's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, man. John McAfee, he's worth hundreds of millions, so I ain't tripping on it. Let me see here on NASDAQ. Obviously, it's too early to catch any pre-market activity. There's nothing right now that's NASDAQ pre-market. Yeah, let's see. They're showing what was hot this morning. PIO. Yeah, see that pre-market heat-seeking stuff can burn you too, because EBIO was up 4% in pre-market and it ended up down for the day. So judging a stock because it's pre-market hot, that's not always the best way to go. That's not always the best way to go. Mm-hmm. Let me see here. What else is popping off? Upcoming splits. 2-for-1. Yeah, on NASDAQ.com, they actually tell you what's upcoming to get split. Yeah, man, pharmaceuticals is where the money is at, man. Pharmaceuticals is where the money is at. Because pharmaceuticals, they explode, man. Those pharmaceuticals stocks really explode. There's a pharmaceutical company that I'm watching right now. IMUC. And these guys are basically saying they've got something that can cure cancer. I mean, I mean, every company says that, but IMUC is a company that I'm watching. The only thing I don't like about it is that they're traded on the American Stock Exchange, which is, you know, they just, that marketplace doesn't really have the fire that you see on the NASDAQ. But some news came out a week ago that they just treated their first patient on that phase 3 experimentations. Yeah. Immunocellular, right? Yep, that's it. So it's just something that I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no money on it. I'm just watching it right now. You know, because they're really good at you know, they're serious about their trials. They're not, oh, it's coming and we're going to do a trial. They actually, you know, they got people putting up money for them to actually do the research. So something is going on over there. Yeah, June 7th, right. So they shit is moving over there, you know. So I'm watching it. I'm watching it. You know, I've been watching the company, just keeping an eye from a distance of what they're doing. You know, but it's an ugly chart. It's, you know, it's basically what a low end, you know, pharmaceutical company that's trying to get a drug out, you know, just that type of chart. That's how they look, man. You know, and a lot of these pharmaceuticals, I mean, they just want to get bought out. I mean, that's really what it's about, just trying to get bought out. Get to a point where you've got a drug that can literally see the light of day in terms of approval, and then a big company comes in and buys you out and does the rest of the job. You know, but if you look at the 3-month chart on IMUC, you see how it you know, there was a steep decline, and then boom, early June, something starts changing there. That's why I'm really watching the stock here throughout the month of June. You said the stock goes up, and then you buy it and it starts going down. Yeah, FES is at its lowest right now. I think it'll move big in a few days. FES. It's an energy play. Man, what I should have done is I should have bought some damn oil. That's what I should have bought. When oil was in February and March and we were looking at $20 a gallon of oil, $26, $28, whatever it was. When did they cross $1? In August? How long does FES have to stay under $1 though? Because you know a lot of these stocks you got a certain time limit. Sometimes it's like 180 days or something like that where they got to get above $1. TPLM. Man, y'all giving me a lot of great trade ideas right now. I got contacted by the CEO of ILED. It's like an LED company. He wants to start doing something. But I mean, the company's got to update its filings. I don't do stocks that are behind on filings, man. Because if that's you're already at risk being halted because it's being promoted. But if you're behind in your filings, that's the easiest way to get halted. So if I start saying, "Hey, everybody, ILED," then it gets halted. Then what? Oil is going to skyrocket again if the Republican gets in office. I don't know, man. I actually think Trump is more environmentalist than you think. I think Trump is about that new age stuff, man. I think Trump wants to see that new technology come through, that solar power, that wave, like oceanic wave energy power. I think he's about that, man. I don't think Trump is about that oil life like that. He doesn't. There's this. I don't think he has it in him like that, man. Because the Bush family, he had people around him that there was an interest in seeing oil go up in price. He said we'll be back in the Jim Crow days with Donald Trump. Guy's 70 years old, man. I ain't afraid of Donald Trump, man. I'm not afraid of Donald Trump. People talking about him like he's a spring chicken. That guy's going to be 70 years old, I think, in August. There have been some Saudi stocks too, because on OTC markets you can break down where the companies come from on their stock screener. In the past, there have been some Saudi scams on there, and they've actually done really well. And is it me? I don't know why. Like, what is it about Twitter that the guys who like trade pennies all day, they're so shady, man. Sometimes I feel like I swear they're like all of them are just like maybe 5 or 6 guys just using a whole bunch of different accounts. Isn't there something like real shady about those guys? Maybe it's just me. I just feel that way, I guess. Let me see. Are there any more? United Arab Emirates. Okay, let me look at see. Global Equity International, GEQU. That's a company that's based in the United Arab Emirates. It's trading at 2 cents a share. GEQ. It's actually current on its filings, by the way. It actually has pretty decent volume. Yeah, they're based in the United Arab Emirates. And I guess they're all in, I don't know what their business is. It's their vision. The Diversified Financial Advisory Services Company. That says so many things. Board of Directors. You look at the Board of Directors, and none of them sounds like they're from the Middle East. Peter Smith, Patrick Dolan. None of them sound like a guy who was born in the Middle East. I'm looking for like a Mahmoud Sharif Abdul, Yeah, I'm going to be live streaming every day. I'm trying to build this up, man. It's going to take some time, but I'm going to build this up into something. I don't know if I'll be as big as Tommy Sotomayor, but we're going to try and do what we can to get the word out about trading penny stocks as a way of life. As a way to be able to make some money. Yeah, UAE does have a big expat community. You're right, man. Yeah, what interests me about GEQU is the fact that it's actually a stock that's pretty well traded. It's only 2 cents a share. For the stock price, the float is relatively small. About 200 million, which isn't that bad. You actually want to be under 100 million. But 200 million isn't that bad, especially for how cheap the company is. But I mean, the filings are on time. The filings are on time. I actually got to hit them up because this actually would make a really good pump too. You spend $70 a month on Profitly for stock picks. Is it working for you? Yeah, Clay, that's the thing, man. When you get stock picks, a lot of times, a lot of people wait till they actually make the move to buy, and the key is actually getting in ahead of time. And sometimes you're right, having to sit and take a couple of days before you really win. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that. It's all about financial education, man. It's all about financial education. I already came to the conclusion a long time ago that I wasn't going to create a product that was going to make me $1 million. A toy or anything like that. I wasn't going to create anything like that. But I could use the stock market to come really, really, really close. What made me get into penny stocks? Because I wasn't able to get into anything else. I wasn't really getting ahead with trading Walmart and stuff like that. There was I had read an article about a small bank out in Seattle, and their stock was trading for like 10 cents. Yeah, it was like 9-10 cents. It was like a bank out there in Seattle. It's a small little community bank. This was 2011 or so. And I come to find out that there are thousands of stocks that are trading at prices that low and even lower. And then this guy's, every time I start looking for information, this guy keeps popping up. Tim Sykes, what a. And then that's what got me into him. And then watching his videos got me into penny stocks. Yeah, trading is my primary income. I would say more promoting is my primary income. Trading, I do well in trading, but I do really well in promoting. Whether it be from my mailing list, working with other guys on their mailing list, online marketing. I have a couple other online marketing sites that I run. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, the lotto is a joke, man. I don't have any respect for the lottery. That's what's crazy about trading the stock market, man, because you have you have a better chance to win doing this than you do playing the actual lottery. You have a better chance at making money playing this penny stocks than you do playing your state lottery. And I'm not really tripping because, I did really well with HMNY, so I'm like, I'm not at the point where it's like, man, I need a winner, I did pretty good with that, so now I'm just kind of like chilling a little bit. And you tend to do that after you win big. After you win big, you tend to be lazy for like a week or two, and you're like, oh shit, I need to get back to making this money. You won 100,000 in 2007. Yeah, I believe you, man. I believe people win the lottery, man. Somebody won that jackpot a couple months ago, that 900 million. Somebody won that. People win the lottery, man. People win the lottery. They're people who are living on their winnings, on their winnings, doing really well. But my thing is, I'm not going to play the lottery for 22 years when I can do this for 22 years, and I think this is going to pay off a lot better than playing the lottery. I think if I do this for 20 years, I close my eyes and I think of where I could be in 20 years of doing this, I think I'd be better off doing this than I will be playing the lottery for 20 years straight. I think my odds are better that my life would turn out a lot better doing this. As long as you stay dedicated to the craft, dedicated to learning, keeping your eyes open, managing your money, continually to build, making smart decisions, not taking unnecessary risks, continue to work on developing ways to get more high probability trades. Yeah. Helios and Matheson, yep. For TWER, how to play it. If the last month is any indication, it's not going to stay up for very much longer. If you're trying to figure out how to play TWER, if you got some profit in it, man, take your profit and run. Because from what the stock did last month when it soared up that much, it lasted for what, 1 day, right? When I look at TWER and I look at the 3-month chart, 1, 2, 3. It stayed up for about 3 days and then it collapsed. It stayed up for about 3 days and then it collapsed. So watch it, man. And also go back and read that news of what made it go up 113%. You know, I haven't gotten a chance to read what the news was about. Is it a contract? Did they win a federal contract? Or is it just an earnings winner? Yeah, I caught it long, man. I caught it long. Yes. Yeah, man. That was crazy. I caught it long. HMNY, I caught it long. My shorts weren't getting filled. My shorts weren't getting filled, man. So people were all over the shorts for HMNY. But you can go long on it all day. Yeah, that was last week's thing. You could have gone long on it all day. That's why I kept surging after the first and second day. Everybody realized they could keep getting in. I get most of my plays on news. Technical analysis very rarely. I'm trying to learn more about technical analysis. But even when I look at technical analysis, at the end of the day, I'm looking at volume spikes. I'm looking at unusual buying patterns. You know. Because technical analysis and penny stocks, man, I don't try to get too deep in it because I'm telling you, sometimes if you get too deep and then, you know, the stock gets sent through a mailing list with 15,000 people on it, your whole analysis is blown, man. If 1,000 people reading it decide to buy the stock. How long did it take you to reach 25,000? How long did it take me? Oh man, maybe 4 months. See, my thing is it's kind of unfair because I started out in the height of what was the guy was called Awesome Penny Stocks, and practically everything he put out was just going 700%. Look him up, Awesome Penny Stocks. The story behind that. Anything this guy was putting out was going triple digit. It was pretty much a set it and forget it type. You was going to double your money no matter what. It just, whatever trash he promoted, it was going to go up. His mailing list supposedly had 250,000 names on it, man. And it wasn't shitty Chinese email addresses. They were American citizens with trading accounts. I don't know how he got it. Yes, we're live. The more money you can trade with, the better. That's why I started getting on using business credit. When I started using credit cards, that's where things got a lot better for me. When I actually incorporated, I got incorporated. Got with E-Trade, actually became trading under a corporation. You know, got my gas card, I put my email address, I mean not my email address, my internet under a corporate name. I mean, I got a business. My internet service is a business account. I got really business oriented. I started building business credit, and because people are not going to give you money to trade, man. You can't go anywhere to get money to trade. But if you create a business and you get corporate lines of credit, you can use that money to trade. And then they give you 30 days to pay on the money. And for the most part, your loans are interest free for 90 days, 120 days sometimes, depending on those credit cards. You know, because they'll give you an introductory rate, 120 days, 90 days, no interest. You know, so I would get the credit card, run the promo, right? Run the promotion, or if it was an earnings play, go to the bank, withdraw the money, buy the stock, wire the money to E-Trade or to TD, get into the stock, make a ton of videos about it, and then as the stock soared, cash in. Yeah, you can do that. Why not, man? Mike Fu, you can do that. Start with about $2,000, trading 5 to 10% on each trade. Yeah. But Mike, when you trade that way, you got to make sure that, you know, you're trading stocks that are going to move. So you want to focus on stocks that have the two main important factors that move stocks: liquidity and volatility. If you're going to be trading with $2,000, liquidity and volatility. So stocks that are moving and stocks that have volume, so you can get in and out. But you can definitely do it, Mike. You know, what's his name? Tim Grittani said he started out with $1,500. I don't believe him. Yeah, I probably should copyright my Elmer Suds, huh? Yeah, I'll probably need to copyright my Elmer Suds, man. Well, these videos are getting recorded, so if anybody tries to use it, I got this for evidence. Lloyd, basically what I was trying to say was that technical analysis will only do you so much in penny stocks, because, no, I'm not going over Elmer Suds. I'm just saying, I'm answering your question. When it comes to technical analysis, you can study your balls off, but if I, as a promoter, look at that stock and I send it over to my email list, which I have about 7,500 people, and 1,000 people buy that stock, your analysis that said that that stock was going in the trash, guess what? I just blew it out the water. Joe Quim, if you don't have $25,000, the only way to get $25,000 to trade is like a lot of these top a lot of these top guys out here, they got their parents to give them the money, to loan them the money, quote unquote, loan them the money. Or you've got to develop some credit lines. You've got to develop some business credit. I don't know how else you're going to get $25,000. No, you got some people who take out loans. I'm not big on taking out personal loans. Again, I like business credit because it's under my business name. And if shit goes hammer, I'll just go ahead and incorporate a new corporation and go from there. You know, these banks are out here, they want to lend you money, man. They want to put some money in your hands. But you got to follow the steps to get that money. These banks, all they live for is to lend money. All these banks in the hood taking all these poor people money, they turn around, send it to the suburbs and lend it out. They just not lending it out to people in the hood. That's a fact. But people in the hood put their money in bank accounts, in the banks that won't even lend them a dime. Y'all saw my Cavs came back. I'm telling you, my Cavs are going to win it, man. LeBron James is hungry. LeBron James is hungry. I wish LeBron James would go public, man. LeBron James has his own, he's got his own, kind of like, what's that thing that Jay-Z has? Live Sports or something like that? Live Nation Sports or Live Nation Sporting something. Yeah, that was a great game. That was a great game. Stephen A. said so. Yeah, that's going to be that was an NBA classic. That's one of them. That's one of them things. 20 years from now, it's going to be on NBA classics. I'd hate to see when LeBron James retired. I don't know what's going to happen to the NBA after him. They got this one guy out of this Sudanese guy. I forgot his name. Something like that. Some Sudanese guy. Supposed to be in the NBA draft. He's really exciting. Not LeBron James though, but I don't know what's going to happen in the NBA after he's gone. Because I don't see nobody. Yeah, they said there's always somebody else, but who? I don't see anybody on the map. I usually be interested in seeing who's up next. Binary trading, man, I'm so lost when it comes to binary trading, Harvey. Would you suggest Passport for verification? I mean, if that's what the broker wants, Harvey, I mean, how do I use my 401k from my job I'm recently working at to start trading? Matthew, is it going to be tax-free for you to take that out? Are you willing to pay the taxes? Because if I'm correct, to pull money out your 401k, you got to pay tax on that, don't you? What I like to do is that when my last job, I was working for T-Mobile. That was my last job. TD Ameritrade, obviously, you can send money from your paycheck over there. So I'll be working my regular job, but a portion of my paycheck was going into my trading account. I like building it up that way. But yeah, I mean, if you're willing to pay the taxes on it, Matthew, do what you got to do. I'm sure there's got to be, whoever manages your 401k, there's got to be a phone number you can call to ask them about how you can make a withdrawal and move that money into your TD Ameritrade account. I don't like Robinhood. Robinhood, you can't trade penny stocks, man. You can't trade penny stocks with Robinhood. Which DVDs from Tim Sykes do you recommend for penny stocks? They're all for penny stocks. Dano, just go on Pirate Bay and go download all of his videos. Go on Pirate Bay right now and go search Timothy Sykes. They're all on Pirate Bay. And he hasn't done a good job to remove it, so that's why I can say it. Nice guy, but he's got to get with his legal team to go take care of that. Guy making four plus million a year teaching people how to trade penny stocks. If he's got a problem with what's going on, he's not doing anything about it. How to Make Millions DVD. Yeah, that's a pretty good DVD too. How to Make Millions DVD. I like that. I also like his DVD, How to Read Level 2. My method pretty much comes from Timothy Sykes. I need to review and get more ingrained in his methods. Equity Feed. I used Equity Feed for a little bit. My thing is I just hate paying for data, man, because the data that they generate is all users generated information. So it's they should be giving that to us for free. But Equity Feed is a great product. It's just that after my trial ended, I was just like, man, you know. Not a problem, Joe. Yeah, Pirate Bay. Yeah, all his stuff is on Pirate Bay. Who, in my opinion, is the best penny stock trader? The best penny stock trader are the ones that are not traders, the promoters. Promoters and the people who lend the money to stocks that trade over the counter. The biggest money makers in penny stocks are people who are not even the traders. But if you're talking about simply traders, hands down goes to Timothy Sykes. Because what he did when he was at Covestor, he kicked ass when he was trading against people on Covestor. This was like 2012, 2013. He was whipping guys' ass. Guys who, like I said, went to London School of Economics, Harvard, Yale, big-time money managers. He was wiping the floor with them. Obviously, they were trading with significantly more money. And honestly, when you trade penny stocks, you know, just because the way the percentages work, you're going to look more competitive. But at the end of the day, you know, you make money, and the percentages led in his favor. So Tim would be up like 400% in a month, and these guys were at like 6%. But you got to understand, that's 6% on like, you know, 6% on $200 million. That's a lot of money. Whereas Tim is like 400% on, you know, 350,000 or something like that. This was back in like 2012, 2013, around there. Yeah, Tim Grittani's good. But I'm not a big fan of Tim Grittani because I don't like the fact that he tries to come off like he started from the bottom and he didn't. Tim Grittani has never worked a day in his life. Did you guys see that video on Tim's channel where he talks about, oh, I worked a whole bunch of day jobs and, because he kind of talks like that. Well, I worked a couple jobs and, I delivered pizzas. I did whatever I had to do to, support my trading. But he makes money, man. I'm not mad at him. I just don't like the fact that he's trying to act like he started from the bottom and he didn't. His parents are very, very wealthy. Yeah, Tim Sykes is a beast. Tim Sykes is a beast. Tim Sykes can lose 100 grand today, and he'll have 130 grand a week from now. And I still think that Tim hasn't showed us really everything. I think he's the way he gets, his plays. He hasn't showed us everything. Because he'll be in front of a stock like before it even popped. Like, okay, Tim, I watched all your videos. I don't see how you did that. Like, how did you know the stock was going to do that? And when he put stuff in that chat room, that moves stocks too. The best trading platform for shorting stocks, Speed Traders, Short Trader. I would definitely stay away from Short Trader. All the damn fees that they got on their little platform. Stay away from Short Trader, man. Don't even consider Short Trader. You know how hard some people have had to get their money out of Short Trader on big wins? Yeah, Tim Sykes is so big, man. He says the stock is going to go up. Sometimes you go to his chat room, he's got 2,000-3,000 people in there, man. He says, "Hey, man, I'm going into this stock because on his platform, you guys get that email, right? Every time he's about to go into a trade, people buy on that, man. Yeah." I don't know why Tim Grittani recommends Short Trader because Tim Sykes doesn't recommend it. Tim Grittani, Speed Trader, yeah, I like Speed Trader. It's legit. Speed Trader is legit. I just like E-Trade because their customer service is beautiful. I can call E-Trade at any time of the night and somebody's going to pick up and it's going to be a live person and we can talk about anything. Stock related, of course. But E-Trade customer service, I love it. I love their customer service. They've won me over. Yes, $1,000 is enough to get started in penny stocks. If you study, do your paper trading, learn how to trade stocks that have a catalyst. Hopefully you get in before the catalyst. Trade earnings winners. Trade on that information that moves stocks. Yes, $1,000 is enough. You got to remember, at the end of the day, you want to be able to pay for the trade, right? So the the $20 that you gotta, because every trade you start $20 in the hole automatically. So you want to make that $20 back and whatever else, and you're profitable. Yeah, and you better follow a guru. And with $1,000, you're not day trading, you're swing trading, right? Because again, you've only got a certain amount of trades you can do. So you need to be looking for stocks that you can be in for 2 or 3 days if you only have $1,000. That's why I'm really pushing people to go into that CETX. If you got into CETX when I told you about it, you're up right now. It was a good day for the stock today. And we got earnings coming in next month on the 28th, I think, for CETX. And the stock has been an earnings winner for 20 straight quarters. I don't expect that to change. That's why I'm really pushing CETX now, because I want people to get in at these prices, because when earnings come out, that's going to be a $4 or $5 stock, $6 stock. Congrats, man. It works. Hey, if it works for you, keep it. For me, I can't use Robinhood because I like my platforms. I like being able to, I like the way they set the alerts on E-Trade. I like my E-Trade Pro. I like being able to watch CNBC when there's nothing else going on. I like the charting software on E-Trade. But Robinhood, yeah, man, it's free, and do what you got to do. If it works for you, great. Dano, with $5,000, man, use whatever works best for you. Try them out. Try what works best for you. You don't really want to ask what platform is best. What works? What do you feel comfortable with? Are you comfortable with E-Trade? Are you comfortable with, Option House? Are you comfortable with Interactive Brokers? Are you comfortable with, whoever? Yeah, CETX, Chemtrex. Yeah, Robinhood to swing trade. Yeah, it's free, man. But day trading, yeah, I would never day trade with Robinhood. I don't even think it's possible. From what I hear, like those actually stop you from being able to do an order sometimes. Do they throw in commercials? Wow. No? Okay, so they don't throw in commercials. Okay. Okay, no commercials. Okay. I'm about to say throwing commercials, that's horrible. But I mean, Robinhood is if you want to put your money somewhere just to have it, it's a legit app, man. It's a legit app. For those people who aren't really looking to make big bucks like that, you just got a regular 9 to 5 job doing taking care of you and your family. Go Robinhood 100%. I'm all the way for that, man. Take a little percentage of your check, go buy some, middle of the run NYSE company that's got a lot of potential. Maybe a utility that pays really great dividends, like a Duke Energy, or gosh, what's DTE, maybe, for those people up there in Michigan. I know they got a lot of power companies on in the West Coast that pay really great dividends. Yeah, why not? So yeah, I like the app, the concept of Robinhood. I love it. The app, I love it. But for what I need to do, it's not going to work for me, because I love these pennies. XGTI? What is XGTI? XGTI. XGTI. It's a 14-cent stock. It's up though. I mean, it's up for the month, where it was a month ago. I mean, you've made nearly double your money. You actually did double your money if you got in a month ago on XGTI. That's why you can never really count these little penny stocks out, man. These stocks here on NASDAQ that are like 10, 12 cents, you never can count those out, man. You know, if you're willing to lose, you know, some money for a couple days, you know, one news release can just send those stocks flying. You know, like that no-name pharmaceutical that went flying. Was that EBIO or something like that? When that pharmaceutical guy jumped in and decided to buy it. I mean, that stock was nowhere before he jumped in and bought that. Exactly. You're right, Clay. Yep. Made City Stars. I'm watching PTX. I'm camping PTX. I'm camping on PTX. It was down today hard, but it's money that I'm willing to lose because I think that is a company that I'm just waiting for buyout news. I'm just waiting for buyout news on PTX. They've got an FDA approved product that's out there that doctors all around the country are prescribing to their patients. The company in general is losing money just because of some other investments they've made, but they've got FDA approved products. You use Robinhood for practice. You can also use Stock Trainer, that app. I don't know if you have an Android. It's called Stock Trainer. I think it's on iOS too. It's called Stock Trainer. It's not live quotes. They're pretty cool. I mean, they're not live. I think they're like delayed like 20 minutes or something like that. But you start off with like 20 grand or 100 grand or something like that. I think you actually choose. And you can start trading. Is there any way you can start with a debit card or straight up cash? My first account was with my first trading account. Gosh, what's that guy? He's in a helicopter and he's like, oh God, they used to have commercials out. I forgot what it was called. I forgot the name of the company, but he was always on a commercial. He started the firm. It was like he's got a helicopter. I forgot. I forgot. He was big a couple years ago. They're still in business, but they actually have locations. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna want to look it up now. Stock online stock brokers. Scottrade. There we go. That was the name. Scottrade. Scottrade had a location about a mile from my house. And with Scottrade, you can go in there and at the time, now I think they still do. Even E-Trade, they have locations too. You can go in there with cash and put money on your account. Or you can write them a check. You actually go into the office. Scottrade. Scottrade's got offices all over the country. Now, I don't know what they do in terms of penny stocks. I couldn't tell you. But they still do their $7 online trades. Have a good night, Skeletor. Yeah, Fidelity has offices. Fidelity has offices. You go in there with a check. So if you have a bank account that debit card is attached to, go get yourself a certified check from your bank and go into one of those offices and drop it off. Or, I mean, if you have a bank account, man, just wire it in there. Ask your bank to credit you that $25 or whatever it is. They can credit that to you, man. Don't let them say it's 25. Hey, it's going to be $40. Say, hey, look, man, it's my first time doing it. Can you give me a credit? And just ask. I got $40,000 at Wells Fargo. I'll just, hey, man, look. Hey, credit me that $25, man. They're going to do it. It's not their money. Oh, is it breaking up? Time Warner Cable. I'm supposed to be getting 300 megabytes per second. Google Fiber is coming to my neighborhood. I can't wait till Google Fiber is here. I can't wait till Google Fiber is here. I can't stand the cable companies. Well, they're not even Time Warner Cable anymore. Now there's something else. I can't remember what the name is of them. They got bought up by Charter. Okay, good. Joe, you must be on that net zero internet, brother. Joe, are you still using net zero? Okay. You can't hear me? Okay. All right, so you're just using an Acer computer then. You must be using an Acer, Joe. I had an Acer computer, man. The Acers, oh man, those things were terrible. Those were the worst computers. If you had an Acer, you knew you was broke as fuck. Those were the worst damn computers. Oh, he said iPhone 6 Plus. He wanted us to know he's on the top of the line. I'm actually might go iPhone next time around. I might leave Galaxy and go to iPhone. Any new picks for the week? Man, right now, not the way it's looking right now. I mean, I thought I was going to have a killer run with apps. They went and chose LBIX or LBIX, whatever that one was, even though that news wasn't even as great as what apps came out with. But, hey, that's just the market. I still think CETX is going to be your market winner for next week. We're up this week. CETX, if you were up when I told you about it, you're still up for the week. FES. Uh, FES. Yeah, I like FES. I actually like FES. I like FES. You know, a lot of people are kind of afraid to play stocks that are in the red. You know, you got some investors out there that just like to buy stocks that are green. I like buying stocks that are red. Because I mean, I like stocks that are on a not on a decline, but I'm getting it at a discount. I don't want to buy it when it's green. When it's heavy green like that, man, I like buying stocks on the down day. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, Joe, we're gonna get more people in here as we build this up. I'm actually like, this is the first week. I'm just trying it out. I haven't even told my mailing list about it or Twitter about it. I'm just trying to figure out how this all works. I'm working with a guy who's teaching me how to use, uh, gosh, what's it called? Adobe something. Anyway, it's like a $600 freaking program where I'm able to like put all type of shit on my screen and stuff. So he's teaching me how to use that. So it's gonna look all. I'm gonna have all kind of special effects and crap. TheSmallCapMillionaire.com. You said when you were looking at FES, it was showing overbought. Man, I mean, again, technical analysis on a 16-cent stock. Man, I'm telling you, don't get too caught up in that, man, because I'm telling you, one news release and your technical analysis is blown. You know, you go in there and you know, short a company like that. You know, you got guys out there who want to short 25-cent stocks. And then next thing you know, the company releases information that they're about to get bought out. These guys get blown out the water. LGVW. LGVW. LGVW, what is that? Did you put it in wrong? Or did I put it in wrong? LGWV. Oh, okay. All right. LGYV. Okay, my bad. LGYV. Legacy Ventures. Okay, it's not even picking up on NASDAQ.com. Sometimes that happens when they're not even OTC markets. I don't feel like opening up my E-Trade right now. Going through all that. LGYV. Yeah, when it doesn't open up on NASDAQ.com, 9 times out of 10, it's a OTC markets. Damn. LGYV. I hope you ain't got no money in it today, man, because you down. 21% loss, that's a big loss. Again, when I'm waiting for a stock to go up, I don't mind taking a loss, but 21% daily losses, that's unacceptable for me. Yeah, Yahoo Finance. Yeah, I could have gone to Yahoo Finance too. I don't mind taking a loss as I expect good news, but 21% losses daily on my money, I can't do that. Because you got to remember, as you take losses, approaching that good news that you're expecting, those losses cut out of that profit. Those losses cut out of that profit. So the more losses you take as you approach what you hope is going to be, a 50% or higher day, if you're not careful, you're going to just end up breaking even, or hoping to God you break even. I don't mind losing 2, 3, 4, maybe 7 at the most percent as I approach a great day. And I don't like to be too early. I don't like to maybe be a day early, day or 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week, a month if it's a great company like I'm saying with CETX. I don't mind being a month early in a company like that because I'm not expecting huge down days. CETX today started the day at what, -5%? Look what it ended up at. People know what the stock is. That's why sometimes it can be scary to trade those NASDAQ stocks that are 12, 13 cents, because great news takes them higher. But as you wait for that great news, man, a stock that goes from 10 cents to 8 cents, that's 20%. That's a lot, man. Yeah, it doesn't let you put in the links or whatever sometimes. Yeah, man, CETX, man, I can't make enough videos about it. That's why my last tweet on Twitter, if you go on my Twitter right now, I'm going to make a video about that guy. He's another clown, great trader, but he's another clown that tried to make a big mistake shorting CETX. You got to expose some of these guys. That's why I exposed Tim Grittani and those that they try to make the stock. They try to come together to short the stock, and they got blown out the water. Guy lost $8,000 on CETX. Yeah, if you go on my Twitter, the last retweet I made, the guy lost $8,000 on CETX. How often do you have to do what, Harvey? Yeah, he lost $8,000 on CETX. That's a lot of money. That means if you lose $8,000 on a short, that means you were in huge. He must have been in at least 30 grand or more. Yeah, Grittani's a skilled trader. He's a very skilled trader. Those guys are all skilled, very talented traders. Yeah, man, I don't know what those guys. I made the video. I made the video before they even tried to short it. I don't know. I made the video telling people, look, it is a shorter's nightmare. In the video, I call those people out. I'm like, man, dude, there are so many shorters in this stock. We're going to blow you out the water. I told you in the video what we're gonna do to you. Some of you see, a lot of you people, you got, some people think it's just me on the camera. I got people who call me up, people I've never even met in person, like, hey, CETX is the call, man. All right, I'm sending you the PayPal, $5,500. All right. Yep, I'm sending out to my list, and I'm sending out to yours. All right. Boom. You got about 30, 35 people out there. Some of these guys own multiple websites, each with mailing list of 7,000 people plus. And they're going to be sending out information on CETX. Some of them have already started. Some of them have already started. Some guys are just waiting. They're just waiting for it because they're loading every day at these prices. That's why the price slowly kind of climbs up, goes down, climbs up, But there are guys that are loading on. Yeah, they cut losses quickly. Yeah, they got a lot of money, man. 8,000, that's why when I made that video about Tim Grittani losing $3 grand, that's nothing to him, man. That's lunch money. I had people send me tweets, you shouldn't talk about Tim like that. He's a better trader than you. You're just a nigger in the ghetto. Come on, man. I know $3,000 ain't shit to him. It's called search engine optimization. When somebody's looking up his name, guess who else's picture is going to pop up? And God willing, they're going to sign up to my newsletter, and we're going to get another great investor who's going to want to learn how to trade penny stocks. But you guys saw that link that I put of Tim Grittani's DVD. It's on eBay. The same DVD he's selling for like $450 or what it is, $550. It's on eBay right now for 20 bucks. Tim Grittani. Oh damn! It got sold up. Oh no, it's still up there. Yeah, he's got 5 left. Tim Grittani trading tickers. I already ordered. There it is. I just posted it in the chat room. He's only got 5 left. I already ordered one, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that DVD is about. I haven't put out a newsletter yet. I'm loading up on CETX right now, but my first email is probably going to be about CETX because I know it's going to be a huge winner. But right now I'm just building my list up. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now, unless I see something that's really going to run. Unless I see something that's just really going to run from now until the 1st of next month. Because I plan on releasing it on the 1st because that's when they're telling me that my website will be done. These guys from India I got working on my website. Yeah, man, I really appreciate these traders teaching us how to do this stuff, man. I really appreciate. I tell, because Tim sometimes inboxes me on Twitter. Hey, man, how's it going, or something like that. I always thank him, man. Thank you for everything you do, bro. Like, we've never met in person or anything, but I know he knows who I am, and I'm so appreciative of what he got inspired in my head. because I was at a point where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was out of school. I was practically broke. You know, I had saved up $7 grand to go to New York City. I was living on my sister's couch, going to different investment banks, begging them to take me. You know, hey man, I was doing, you know, the whole like, dude, I work for free. I'll answer the phone calls. You know what I mean? I'll work in the mail room, whatever, man. They wouldn't even let me do that. You know, and that's how I ended up in New York City, making $10 an hour working at T-Mobile. Horrible. And you guys remember my first website, right? How terrible it looked? Because I had to make it on my own. I couldn't afford to make it. I couldn't afford to pay anybody to make my website. I had to make it on like one of them like little damn websites where they show you how to make your own website. And I built my list. I made videos. I started contacting companies and telling them, look, I'll promote for you, and you know, I'll make videos. I'll drive traffic to your stock. You know, then the checks started kind of coming in. He said, tell those guys in India to hurry up. Just look at what Jason Bond has. It's going to look something like that. I want something where it's going to, you know, show my face and, you know, kind of create a brand, you know. Like I said, I was talking to you guys yesterday in the chat room. I'm trying to be the Carlton Sheets of penny stocks. I want to eventually create a program where I'm basically on your television screens every night selling you a package about how to trade penny stocks. You know, not shorting. I'm just teach people what a penny stock is, how to trade them, best brokers. You know, a little bit of insights, but I just want to bring more people into it. Because a lot of people are losing money, you know, following these huge NYSE, and they're not getting anywhere. Appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, you guys know when I used to make videos in that small ass apartment, and I never tried to hide it. People always laugh, oh man, you're making videos in the ghetto. There's a video on here where I'm looking around, right? I'm looking at the camera, and the guy walked right past me with a .45 handgun right on his hand, man. I swear to God. I had the camera set up and everything. He walked right past me. Guy had a .45 in his hand, just walking up the street, bro. Could have blasted me right there. What's the device you use to show stock screens and your face at the same time? Oh, it's called Screenomatic. Screenomatic. It's like $20 a year, man. Really great product. Yeah, I tell people this all the time. I went from a studio apartment into my own home in a year and a half. But it's not even really that big of a deal because I didn't realize how easy it is to buy a house. Like, they're giving houses away. If you got a 620 credit score and you've got 3% down, you can get a mortgage. It's really not that difficult. It's really not that difficult to buy a house. A lot of people really just don't know. They're kind of intimidated by the process. But if you got consistent income, you know, enough for a down payment, you can buy a house. What price do your picks fall between? My picks will never be over $10. I don't even like going over $5, honestly. I don't even like going over $5. I like under $5. If we're over $5, it's because we ran over $5. But there are thousands of companies under $5 that will give you more than enough than you need to make the kind of returns you're looking for. You don't need to go above that. Because you got to remember, you're trying to look for the maximum you can get on your investment. So that's about getting as cheap as possible because you want to get the biggest return possible. So you're looking for tight, low flow, cheap stocks. I play sub pennies, yes, but they got to be low float. And the problem with a lot of those sub pennies is that they're not low floaters, man. They're not low floaters. That's why I kind of got really lucky, when I promoted CTTG, that stock that ran up 3,300%. It ran up 3,300% because they only had like 1,000,005 shares, and it was at sub penny level. They only had like 1,000,005 or something like that. So prices just ran crazy. Yeah, Finviz is a great stock, man. I don't like going over 100 million when we talk about float. If you're talking about sub pennies, if we're still talking about sub pennies, I don't like going over 100 million. Even the small caps, I don't like going over 200 max. How high am I expecting CTEX to go? Man, I think CETX can be. It can honestly be a double-digit stock, man. I think it can be an $11 stock, man. Just look at the balance sheet. Just look at the balance sheet. Do I ever use the history of the stock? I mean, I look at it. I look at the history, but the chart is what's going to tell the story. The chart's going to tell the story. Has the stock ran before? Is it possible it runs? Does it have a pattern? Is it running like every 3 months, every 6 months, every month? You have a lot of stocks out there that are runners. They just kind of take off. Low floaters, man. That's the thing you want to look for. Cheap and low float. Cheap and low float. And then you got to, of course, have a catalyst. What kind of news, is coming out to make the stock run? Are we expecting anything coming down the pipe? If you're talking pharmaceuticals, do they have any new drugs that they're testing right now? Are we going to be waiting for any kind of phase 1, 2, or 3 results? How soon are those going to be released? Are they going to be looking to apply it to the FDA anytime soon? Because sometimes even the idea, even a press release saying that they're in the process of applying for an FDA approval can run a stock, and it's done that several times. We need to take live minutes of everyone. And also, what's that mining company I talked about that I think is going to be a huge winner in the long term? Because again, I don't feel like opening up my E-Trade because that's where I have everything already. Let me see here. It's a mining company. I forgot what the name was. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I haven't put any money in it. I forgot what they're called. I'll have the stock again. No, it's a mining company. Oh man. You know what? It might be. Yeah, I'm gonna dig up the name and I'll make a video about it because they're definitely going places too. It's a mining company that is doing very well, and the CEO, who is actually the owner, the company's actually named after him. He's got his name on a company. I think it's like Mick something, McHillen, Mick something. No, I don't live around Wayne State anymore. I left Michigan, man. I got out the hood, man. I got out the Detroit's going to hell right now, man. Detroit's going to hell. God, what is the I'm gonna find out what exactly I had said. Mm, yes, McEwen Mining. Ticker symbol MUX. MUX. Here's a really interesting company because these guys actually trade on the big boy forum, and they're recovering company. And this guy said he wants to be in the S&P 500. That's what he's basically said. He said he wants to be on the S&P 500, and the CEO is actually the owner of the company. And he said in a speech before he dies, he's going to be on the S&P 500. Great financials. Balance sheet looks really nice. If you read most of the analysts, some analysts give it as high as a $7 price target for 2017. I think it can do a lot better than that, a lot sooner than that. But it's one of those strong plays too. It's one of those strong plays. You know. But it's moved big in the last couple of days. Strong volume. You can get in and out really nice. Jeffrey, you currently attend Wayne State and you're from New Jersey? Yeah, Wayne State's a good school, man. I enjoyed my time at Wayne State. You know, I went to Wayne State, and Wayne State is a school in Detroit for those of you guys who don't know. I worked, you know, at Ford Field for a little bit. Worked with the Tigers for a little bit. That was cool, man. They used to give, Tigers tickets to students. I don't think they do that anymore. But I remember when the Lions went 0-16, man. Dude, you could walk away with like 5, 6 tickets, because they were just giving tickets away because the Lions were so bad. What are good stocks to watch? Well, MUX is one. I mean, if you've been watching what's been going on with that stock in June, I mean, you basically went from 220 to 316, in less than 12 days. You gained almost $1 a share. What's some other good plays? One moment here. Let me pull this up. I don't know why this thing is going so slow. My computer's acting like a damn Acer. Any short-term plays? I would look at RLOG, RLOG. RLOG. See what they do tomorrow. That stock has ran in the past. RLOG has ran in the past. For those of you guys who've been trading for a while, you probably would remember RLOG. If you look at their chart, they've ran before in the past. They're coming out with earnings tomorrow, so watch out for that. Matter of fact, where are they at now? Let me yeah, see, our log is up on that. See, our log is up because people are looking forward to something happening. Alright, so my damn computer's acting like a damn Acer now. I got 100 damn gigabytes of RAM in here. What? Why is this thing acting like a damn Acer? You said any contact info? HappyPennyStocks@gmail.com. I had a Skype phone number. Nobody calls my damn number, man. I started this radio. I was hoping to do a little radio show because I'm hoping that you guys would call up, but nobody ever calls up. So, but it's late as fuck now. I'm not gonna take no calls now. But I'm on the air every day, starting at 8 o'clock. And I like to start the show out with some phone calls. People just kind of call up, chat it up, talk about what you're looking at, what you've been dealing with in terms of the stock. You know, we're always following that. PTX too. We talked about that earlier. PTX. Waiting on that buyout. Guy other than by the name of Joe Silver talked about another company that the URRE. 305. Gosh, I gotta remember it myself. Hold on. Somebody give him my phone number. I can't keep. I don't know why I'm so bad at keeping up with my damn Skype phone number. Hold on. What's my damn Skype phone number? I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, 305 600 2896. Free stock pick. Yeah. 305 600 2896. Yeah, 2896. 305 600 2896. There you go. So yeah, we're gonna get this bigger. We're gonna grow this chat room, and you know, I just want a whole bunch of traders in here just talking about money, man. I'm trying to get some people on the show here on the, so every day I'm trying to get some guests lined up. I got a psychologist that I'm trying to get on the show. He's going to talk about you know, the trading mind. Recently written a book. I don't want to name his name because I know I got some haters watching going, you don't go on that guy's show, man. But he recently wrote a book about trading psychology. And when I say recently, I say within the last couple years. And I want to get him on the show, interview him, ask him a couple questions, man. Poke his brain about trading psychology. Yeah, man. You know, get some like-minded people in here just to chat it up, talk about the day. You know, because all day you guys, some of you guys are at work, some of you guys are at home, some of you guys are at your businesses. You don't have time to be sitting in chat rooms. So at the end of the evening, come here, we talk about what happened. And you guys know in penny stocks, there's always 100%. There's always 100% gainer somewhere. NWY, Mr. Lloyd, you brought that up a couple times. NWY, what's going on with NWY? What's going on with NWY, sir? YGE. What is YGE? Hold on, let me. I'm not a big fan of these Chinese companies. I'm not a big fan of these Chinese. I don't believe any stock coming out of China. I don't trust it. And it's nothing against it. I just don't trust them, man. They're so shady when it comes to their financials. I don't trust nothing out of China. BPMX. Let me see. BPMX. BPMX has ran two before. That sounds familiar to me. Yeah, well, you guys watch BPMX tomorrow, man. That stock has ran before. BPMX. Watch that stock tomorrow. Let me see that 1 year chart because I think it's ran before. Okay, yeah, it was about, about August, July. Yeah, it was like July. Yeah, it ran in 2015 when it went from like 2 something to 4 in one day. Yeah, you guys watch that too, BPMX, because that stock has ran before. That stock has definitely ran before. Yeah, it's very low volume. It's very low volume, but I mean, of course it's going to be low volume before they run. They're all low volume before they run. They all low volume before they run. Go look at Blinn, BLIN. What happened to Blinn? Nobody was buying that stock, and it took off. You know, people talk shit about the Foos 4 DVD, but the thing about Cameron Foos, people don't understand is Cameron Foos does not short stocks. Do you know that? Cameron Foos does not short. He says he's a terrible shorter. He does not short stocks. The other guy, what's his name? Superman, the other guy that's huge friends with Tim Sykes, he doesn't really short stocks. Once in a while, but for the most part, he is a trend trader. He'll hold a stock for, 2 to 3 weeks. I like Superman. Superman he's a great trader too. I don't know if you guys watch his videos on YouTube. I got much respect for that guy, man, because the way he trades, he bags so much cash. Because he trend trades. He trades for, 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Superman. That's what he calls himself. Because BPMX is releasing earnings tomorrow, unless they've already have. I don't think they already have, but I think they're releasing it tomorrow. And if LBIX is any indication of what BPMX can do, then that means that earnings doesn't even have to be great and it's going to run. So people just get excited. And if it's low float and it moves, sometimes it's not even exciting. It's not even about the fundamentals. It's just the fact that the stock is running. It's low float. Nobody really, some of these stocks, people know that these companies don't make money. But if it's low float and it runs, you said Sprint. I mean, Sprint is a big ass company. I'm not really big on. I don't see Sprint doing triple digits. That's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for triple digits. Very rarely are you going to actually get 100%, but if you get 60, it's not that bad, right? Yeah, Sprint up. See, man, 6 cents a share. That's not going. On a stock like that, man. At $3. Again, if you're playing that, again, that's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, because if that's something where you're going to hold for a week and a half or 2 weeks, I can look at Sprint at that level, But if we're talking about penny stocks, we're talking about something that we're going to be in half a day, an hour, less than an hour, 25 minutes. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to do this, 2 or 3 times a week, maybe twice a week at max if you're under $25,000 cash. So you've got to be very, very particular of what you play. CETX, what would I put in at this point? I've got a lot of money into CETX because I know people with M's that are putting money on CETX because the balance sheet speaks for itself. You're going to get $3 or more out of CETX per share once the earnings come out next month. That's why people are getting into it now, and that's why the price slowly is creeping upward. If you've been watching the price over the last 30 days, K. Harvey, go pull up CETX and look at the 30-day chart, what it's been doing. That's how the chart's going to look 30 days from now. And then earnings are going to come out, and then you're going to see, God damn, why didn't I buy more? The company's killed earnings 20 sessions straight. Yeah, Tim won't even look at a company like Sprint. I mean, I technically wouldn't even look at that. But, I mean, it's one of those plays that, I mean, if you're willing to hold it for a couple of weeks, Sprint is a legit company. I mean, you're not going to lose your shirt investing in a company like Sprint. You can go to sleep at night knowing, that you're not going to wake up and lose 30% on your of your investment. So if you're willing to hold it for a minute and you've got more than $10,000 to trade, sure, why not put it in Sprint? But if you got $2,000, I mean, I'm not going to waste my time with Sprint. Yes, a stock has to trade above $1 to stay on the NASDAQ. Now, every stock that trades underneath $1, they're given a certain probational period where they're required to try to get above $1. Now, that probational period is extended, and I don't know if there's any indefinite time when they just have to get over $1. I know there is eventually where they say, okay, we're not going to extend it anymore. You've got to delist. And that has happened. You can't actually surf, I think you can Google that NASDAQ delisted companies or something like that. But you have to stay above $1 to stay on the NASDAQ and not be at risk for being delisted. Okay, so did BioPharma already report then? Or are they reporting tomorrow? Yeah, Valiant, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to have a runner tomorrow. It's just about finding it and trying to get on top of it, while you still can. That's why sometimes in the morning, man, I don't even, my first screen that I'm looking at is I'm looking at what's top gainers. NASDAQ, top gainers. If a stock is up 20% within the first, 25 minutes, I'm jumping on it. I'm jumping on it because the worst thing that can happen is that I'm either slightly late, I might lose a little bit, but on the other hand, I might be getting on a train that's headed for a 100-plus day. 52-week lows. Again, I mean, it depends on what the catalyst is, man. When a stock is approaching its 52 weeks low, it's there for a reason. Yeah, you got to get in early or get in the meat of the move. Exactly, Joe. You're right on the money, man. Sometimes if you don't even have a play, I'm just watching top gainers because I need to jump on something within the first hour of the day. Because that's where the money, the first hour of the day, because you're going to have the first hour, and then what typically happens, you get a little bit of decline, right? Because some people are shocked at how high the price is. So people who are already in the stock, they start selling a little bit because they're excited about how high the price is. So you get a slight little decline, right? So the stock kind of comes down a little bit. But then what happens? News about how high the stock is starts traveling. So people who are smart enough to get in on that decline get in, and then it kind of goes like this, like that, and then boom. And then there's your 100+ day. There's your 100+ day. And you can pull up any stock that went up 100% or more. That's what it looks like. It shoots up. People who are already in the stock are excited. They start selling. News about how high the price travels across the internet. They jump on board and they do the rest. Right? Some people start shorting and then they get blown out. Yeah, I might have to check that webcast to see what they said. TheStreet.com. Go to Google.com. Just go to Google because I don't know what the direct link is. But I go to Google.com and I type in The Street, THE Street, top gainers or biggest gainers. Because TheStreet.com, their biggest gainer list, it puts up NYSE, NASDAQ, OTC, BB as well on the same screen. But the thing is, it's not live. It's updated as you refresh. Or what you can use is something like Equity Feed. We talked about that earlier in the day. We can use something like Equity Feed. E-Trade, it's okay too, but sometimes I feel like I'm not getting all the information. It's not, for whatever reason, when I'm looking at the NASDAQ screen, I'm not getting, like, it's not picking up. I don't know if it's not picking up every stock or what. Sometimes I feel like it's not, I'm missing out on stuff. Yeah, FinViz, Yahoo Finance. But I like TheStreet.com just because I feel like they find like literally every stock. Whoever is a top gainer, they're going to find it. Sometimes I'm going on Yahoo Finance and E-Trade and I put in top gainer. And what they're presenting isn't what TheStreet.com is presenting. TheStreet.com will show you something that was up 119%. You'd never even heard of the stock before. Yeah, they only post a few or something like that. Yeah. God damn, I've been on here for 3.5 hours. I'm gonna be up at probably 6 doing some charts anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna be up at because I like to read the Twitters. I like to read tweets, and because sometimes those things on Twitter, man, people be saying stuff, and there's certain people on Twitter that will post things, and then the stock runs, and you're like, how did you know that? You know, Twitter is powerful, man. You know, a lot of these people that start talking stuff on Twitter, a lot of these people have inside information, man. Like for real. Some of these people on Twitter, especially a lot of these accounts that they don't have any pictures, and some of these people are like the people who have real inside information. I read stock twits, but I don't use it. But I go on stock twits and I look. But Twitter is where it's at. I mean, Twitter is where you're gonna find some information. Because you look at a company and then I search the tweets real deep. Yeah, stock twits is basically like Twitter, but I like Twitter better just because it's more stock twits. I mean, stock twits is legit too. Yeah, it depends on what you use it for. Free stock pick. Just type in free stock pick, of course, all together, and then my Twitter pops up. Yeah, but I use my Twitter, mostly to read what people are saying about a company. I like to read what people are saying, especially those guys who are all in the triples all day. All they do is just triples all day. You know, what are the chances that a penny stock will jump 10% and then 10% again the next day? Man, that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Yeah, that happens all the time, man. Multiple day jumps like that, that happens all the time. Especially if you're talking about those NASDAQ stocks that are, trading at, 15, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. Those things go up 10% here and there, like clockwork. Again, it's all about being at the right place at the right time. I have an ad trying to show up here. What's that ad? I had an ad trying to play or something. Somebody trying to hijack my computer or what? Oh. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing some live trades. I'm gonna be doing some live trades. But you can't even do live trading, man, because you know you still gotta cut the video, because when you're trading, man, it takes. Tim Sykes cuts the video, makes it look like a 5-minute video, but it took like an hour and a half. What do you mean? How do you use it in practice? I look for stocks that are going through, the criteria. So I'm only trading stocks that are going through earnings, going through mergers, going through acquisitions, dealing with lawsuits, you know, stock offerings, which is SUDs, the IPOs, upgrades, downgrades, and splits. If you go to NASDAQ.com on the top of the website, it gives you all that information. You can find out stocks that are splitting. They'll even tell you what date the stock is going to split, whether you're going to get 1 for 3 or 3 for 1. Yeah, buyouts, they'll let you know all that, and then you can play those. Look at the chart, see what it might do. Again, you want to try and, it's all about trying to get in before the rush. Because it's hard trying to get in as the stock is going up, man. It's hard. Because, catching a breakout is hard to do. That's why it's so important to try to get there before everybody else. But if it doesn't work out, I want there to be some kind of volume that I can get out of my position. That's why I was pushing apps so hard. Apps didn't play like it was supposed to, or what I thought it would be, but there was volume that we got out of the trade. Imagine it was a situation where we couldn't get out. That would have really sucked. It's all about that live video trade life, man. I like shorting. Shorting is fun too. Stock to trade. I gotta look into stock to trade a little bit more. I haven't really given that platform a really good look. But some people are making money there, so hey, if it's working for those people, man, that's great for them. But yeah, Clay, I want to get to a point where I can do live trades and all that stuff. That would be fun. Slowly but surely, this is coming together, so I want to do all that stuff. But I'm getting to a point where I got to figure out whether or not I just want to be a trader or I want to promote. I like promoting, man, because promoting is the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. And I love to sell. I love selling, man. I've always been in sales because, again, those are the easiest jobs to get. I used to work at a company called T-Mobile, so I used to kill it there. Those T-Mobile comes out with a new phone, it's easy to sell those things, man. But I've got to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to promote or I'm going to trade. Because trading and promoting are two completely different things. Yeah, it's all legit. When I was promoting here online, there were people who were talking about, I'm going to call the SEC and all that. I'm going to call the FBI. Let me tell you guys something. Promoting is protected by the First Amendment. You can come on the internet, and as long as you're not registered with the SEC, like you have a Series 7 license or something like that, you can tell anybody, anywhere, what to do with their money. You got your little disclaimer letting people know you're not a financial professional. And at the end of the day, if you're moving the stock and people see like, God damn, this guy's really generating traffic. He's really putting in millions of dollars into these stocks, and people are making money. People are going to buy. Yeah, I'm going to check out stocks to trade. You know, because my website that's coming up, man, it's about promoting. You know, it's not necessarily, it's not really about trading. I like to trade. I love to trade because I want to become a better trader myself. But I've made way more money promoting than I have trading. Way more money. There's way more money in promoting there is in trading. You know, because you got to understand, these companies that trade over the counter, OTC or NASDAQ, many of these men are multi-millionaires dozens of times over. And they just want to make more money. They've got investors that they got to answer to. You know, people who want to see the stock move. Hey, man, I helped you start this company. You know, I lent you $500,000. I'm looking at your stock. Your stock's only 10 cents. You're not, you know, there's no interest. There's no generating. What's going on? That's when the CEO calls me up and says, hey, man, look, I typed in penny stocks on YouTube and I saw all your videos, man. And I see you talk about it. And, hey, man, look, I'd really be interested in, you know, if you start talking about my company and start having people come, you know, and invest in what we're doing over here. We've got really great products and services. You know, I don't have $3 million laying around to give to an advertising agency, but I can give you $25,000 to make some YouTube videos, to take some ads out on YouTube for me, to create a website for me that can drive some traffic to my company. Y'all see where I'm getting at? So all of a sudden now, I don't have to trade. I don't have to trade. I can just sell. And some of these guys aren't like me. I like to get in front of the camera. I put myself out there. Some guys just create a website. Like, what's his name? The Penny Wolf or whatever his name. The Wolf of Pennies. Everybody thinks the Wolf of Pennies, he's an Asian guy. But if you go on his website, you would think it's a white guy on it. He's got like a white guy cartoon face and everything. It's actually an Asian guy who runs that site. Dark-skinned Asian guy. What does a trader gain from a promoter? Liquidity. Liquidity and volatility. That's how traders make money. As a trader, you don't make any money without liquidity and volatility. That's what promoters provide. Who do you think is driving CETX right now? It's promoters. Look at the CEO of CETX. Young guy. Go on a channel. There's a channel on YouTube. It's called CEO Live. CEO Live. He's got like 300 subscribers. Barely nobody watches this guy. But he's got a presentation that is second to none. Have you guys been to that channel? Let me go and look it up here for you guys and give you guys. CETX went on his channel. The CEO of CETX. Yeah, he goes by Mike Elliott. I don't know why he that's the name of the channel, is Mike Elliott, but the company that he runs is called CEO Live. I'm going to post a link. Okay, then send. I don't know why it's not sending. Hold on, it's not letting me post it. Why can't I post a link in my own damn channel? Okay, it's not letting me start, but the guy's name is Mike Elliott. Mike Elliott. Just type in Mike Elliott CETX. Mike Elliott CETX. All right, the way he presents a company. Okay, I posted the link. Just the overall design of of how he presents is incredible. Again, this guy's got little more than he's got not even close to as many subscribers as I have. But they pay this guy like 10 grand to come on his website, on his YouTube page, where he barely gets any hits, to make these videos about their company. So I don't want to get you guys misconstrued that you think these CEOs are only talking to, you know, CNBC and mainstream sources. Jim Cramer, what do you think Jim Cramer? Jim Cramer is a stock promoter. I don't care what anybody says. Jim Cramer, that guy's a stock promoter. He'll go on CNBC. He's got a show where he's like, yeah, my fund is in it, but I want you guys to go buy it. That's what he'll say, just like that, with his hands. And he hits a little thing. Buy, buy, buy. Buy, buy, buy. Buy, buy, buy. Come on, man. He's a stock promoter. A lot of these guys who go on CNBC, those guys have an innate interest to see the stock go up. And you got to understand, it wasn't until recently when CNBC started talking and asking people, do you have any money in the company? Oh, yeah, my fund, They only started doing that the last couple of years. CNBC has been on TV for almost 30 years now. Those guys are promoters. People have an interest in seeing liquidity and volatility. That's how you make money. If you work for a Fortune 100 company, eventually they have a meeting where they'll sit down with you, with a financial representative, when you're about to retire or whatever it is. And they say, look, I think you should be putting your money into that. You should be putting your money into this. That guy's promoting certain funds that have certain stocks in it, right? It's all promoting. And these banks have millions of dollars behind these companies that they want you to buy. Yeah, but that CEO Live guy, you know, go to another guy on YouTube. I think it's like Red Chip, something like that. If you type in Red Chip Money Report on YouTube, that's another promoter. And that guy, he actually operates a show out of Chicago, actually out of New York. He's on New York Public Television, and he operates a penny stock TV show where he has investors or CEOs come on his show and talk about his company. On my video, Go Now Doctors, that's Red Chip Money Report. He's a promoter. Guy's not a trader. But he's going to create the liquidity that you as a trader can be able to profit on. But back to CETX. Who's driving the last 30 days? Who's driving all the information? It's people like, man, from people like me, who's telling you and you're telling somebody else, but somebody had to call me up and say, Sal, man, I'm going to send you, $5,500 to go make a video about CETX. And I was like, oh, okay. And I made a video about it. And what happened? All these guys who are betting against it, they're getting fucked over. Because they didn't think that the promoters would jump in. And the promoters have jumped in, and now they're running for their lives. Selling for losses. Well, all right, guys. It's midnight. I'm going to grab me some sleep. I've been here damn near 4 hours. We'll talk again tomorrow, unless something else comes up. But again, we already talked about the stocks we're going to watch tomorrow. BP, MX, CETX. There's so many stocks to watch tomorrow. LBIX, we'll see what LBIX does tomorrow. It ran today. Can it keep going tomorrow? Will it keep going tomorrow? Hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. We're going to continue to do more, have more guests, trying to just get better and better as a trader, as an advertiser, as someone who's promoting the idea of investing in small cap stocks. I believe in small cap stocks because I love this country, man. I love this country. I've seen what it's provided for people like myself, my family, and for many other families. People come here from all around the world because they believe in the American dream, man. The American dream is real and it can happen for anybody. I don't have $1 million. I want $1 million. But what I can do is I can help other people put their dreams together by investing in their companies. Investing is a win-win, man. I love investing. I love trading. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody involved wins. Because even if you lose, you're going to win with some education. I'll tell you that. You're leaving with some knowledge. So, again, this has been 4 hours. I appreciate you guys hanging on with me tonight. Brother's got to get something to eat. Damn. Got a nigga starving up in here. Last thing I need to do is be up in the kitchen. You said to keep your lights on while you're gambling with me. Hey man, if you got trouble keeping your lights on, man, the last thing you need to be doing is messing around with penny stocks, man. I don't want anybody trying to gamble, trade their rent money. That's not what this is about. I haven't sent out any newsletter yet. My first newsletter is going to be out maybe on the 1st, and it's going to be about CETX because CETX earnings is coming out next month. That's why I'm trying to get you guys in there now so you can be there on time before I send that letter out. Those of you guys who watch my videos, you guys should be the ones making the most of the money. The people who get the newsletter, that's great, but those are people who, for the most part, let's be honest, they're the laziest traders. Those are laziest traders. You say he's going to be at the welfare. You're going to be at the welfare office. That's not good, man. It's so funny you say that because I buy my, those of you guys who live in the hood would know what I'm doing. I buy my food from a girl who gets welfare. You see, when you get the money on the card, right, there are women, in certain neighborhoods where they get so much money on their welfare cards that they have enough that they can trade some of it for cash. And one of the women that I buy my food from, I actually buy food stamps and I give her cash. And she actually asked me how she can get into penny stocks. I thought that was cool. Yeah, if you from the hood, then you know what I'm talking about. I love buying them stamps, man. Man, they ain't gonna do nothing about no damn stamps. They know this is going on in the hood, man. You know how many millionaires are on welfare, man? If we really want to be honest about it, 90% of the farmers in America are on welfare. You know that? If we really want to be technical with it, America is a welfare nation. Yeah, these farmers on welfare, man. These farmers receive subsidies to grow crops that don't make any money. So the only difference, they're not on YouTube talking about getting free money. Yeah, you're right. They're not on YouTube. You're absolutely right. They're not on YouTube talking about it. But this has been going on in the hood for years, man. Mr. Lloyd, you don't know that people buy and sell stamps? People been selling stamps for years. Yeah, I don't eat Chinese food. I don't support them, and I don't support their businesses. They're vultures. They're vultures of the ghetto. That's what I call them. Them Chinese food spots, they're vultures of the ghetto, man. All they do is take money like vultures. That's all they are. Vultures of the ghetto. Chinese food spots. They don't do anything positive for those neighborhoods. Just take money out. So I don't ever go to Chinese food spots because they are not beneficial at all to the community. On every corner, man, using that old ass grease that they've been using for weeks sometimes. Chinese people do not like to change their grease. There's a company that I try to promote for, and they collect used grease, and they changed it into like bio something. I forgot the ticker. I think they're still trading, and they basically were using like biofuel. It's like one of those biofuel type stocks that were hot a couple years ago. And one of the guys was telling me is that the Chinese people, he would go to their spots to get the grease, and they wouldn't let him get the grease. It was old. He would literally see it was dark black like motor oil, and they still wouldn't let him have the grease. These people reuse it until it's crazy. Anyway, let's call it a night, guys. It's your boy Sal. FreeStockPicks.org, thesmallcapmillionaire.com. Sign up to the newsletter. Call into the light at night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Till next time, hope you guys have a successful trading day. CETX, keep watching it. I'm still invested. It's paying me dividends, guys. CETX. Good luck to everybody tomorrow. Good night. Okay, now the war to turn this off.